right, Aaron. There are many common arguments against the idea of Bitcoin or owning or investing in a Bitcoin. For example, there are many other cryptocurrencies out there. As you mentioned earlier, there are Ethereum, Ripple, Libra, Litecoins, and there are thousands more. So why would Bitcoin not be replaced by them?
So Bitcoin is the first ever cryptocurrencies. The technology underlying it is not hard to duplicate. So then many people start coming in to create their own version of coins, money. So they think that they're going to create a coin which is better than Bitcoin in aspect Y, or they will create another Bitcoin, another form of coin which is better than Bitcoin in aspect Z, maybe faster or this and that. But Bitcoin is holistic. You have to see things holistically. It comes in package. You can't win something just because you are better than it in one aspect. And number two is because network effects. Right, network effects meaning when there are more people using in a network, it gets more entrenched and it's really hard to leave the network. And Bitcoin has been around. It's the oldest cryptocurrency. It's been 11 years old, and its network effect is tremendous. Right, there are multiple players, multiple stakeholders in this game. We have us, me, users, investors, or hodlers. We don't call holders, we call hodlers. Hold on for dear life, right? Then you have the miners, right? And then you have your node operators, right? And then you have your financial, your institutions that are building infrastructure around all this. So when these networks come around, when all these players have come around this Bitcoin, it forms a strong network effect. And for you to leave the network to build another on and to dedicate resources on another on another coin, right? You have to ask yourself, if I were to do that, will the other coin take off in value? Right? If a group of us decide to jump ship, it's game theory again. If a group of us decide to jump ship and then they jump back and I'll be left there alone. So there are many considerations like that if you were to invest in other coins. But a lot of technical people think they can do something, they can create a new form of money based on technical powers, but money is it is more than just having a good technology. You have the understanding of monetary, economic, psychology, this and that. So Bitcoin is established in that sense, network effects. And it's also also get counter argument now. Oh, well, network effects. Last time there's MySpace, there's Friendster. Look what happened to them. Facebook came around, kicked their ass, right? But those are companies. Things evolve. True. They come and go and die. But Bitcoin is different. Bitcoin is a protocol. So look at your internet protocol, TCP, IP. We have been using this protocol for decades, man. I don't think there's any upgrade done to it. There were various solutions proposed to fix it or replace it, but it's hard to replace because it's a protocol. It's already entrenched in the system. Same thing with our email, SMTP, IMAP. I think this technology since day one has been there. But the best analogy I can give is this. You build a plumbing in your house, right? In the toilet, right? I come and tell you, mine, I can build one which is better, flush the water, can clean your water, this and that. Do you think you go rip up your plumbing just to install my technology? You wouldn't, right?
Probably not.
So the entrenchment, so it's too costly and there's no huge upgrade in your mind. Probably so you don't have to change things on the protocol level, that means the plumbing level. Maybe you can build something on top of it, right? Maybe a filter outside your house. So these are what we call a layer development. Like Ethereum and all, they're trying to compete with Bitcoin on the protocol level. But why Bitcoin doesn't, why we as a supporter or maximalist of Bitcoin thinks that all these are irrelevant because we do not want to compare on the protocol level. Protocol level is very, very crucial. The more you develop protocol level means it gets more complex and things can break easily. So let's keep the protocol level clean, right? And then we build on top of it layers and layers and layers. So that's how Bitcoin is competing against all these other altcoins or what I would call shit coins, right? Not on the protocol level, but on the layers on top of it. We innovate.
All right. So Bitcoin is very volatile. How can it be a reliable store of value?
So I think and volatility is another counter argument that I tend to get. Oh, how can you transact? How can you buy things with Bitcoin is $1 now, it can be 70 cents later, or it can be 150 later, right? And store a value. How can we store a value? I might lose my value at that. But I think what people confuse about store values is volatility does not equate to risk. Okay, look at US dollar. It has been stable. We think US dollar has been stable across time. I mean, apart from our ringgit becoming shit against US dollar, but in a global scheme of things, right? We think US dollar has been stable. It is true, it's stable in the short term. But if you look from a multi-decade perspective, right, in the past 40, 50 years, after, I think, is it Richard Nixon that took us off the Bretton Woods agreement, US dollar has lost easily 90% of its purchasing power. How ridiculous is that? Not volatile, great, but it lost its purchasing value. Bitcoin, no doubt about it, it's volatile today. It's volatile today because the market cap is small. Any amount of capital is able to move the markets, and we have manipulators in the market as well. Okay, it's still a nascent asset. So Bitcoin, I'll call it a money, but it's evolving into a money. As I mentioned earlier, in order to be money, it has to be a store of value first, then only a medium of exchange, and only a unit of account. Bitcoin today, it is only at a stage of store of value, not medium of exchange, right? I won't use my Bitcoin to buy coffee, man. I buy a coffee now, right? I might lose a Ferrari later. It's a possibility, right? So
You may also own a
volatile
Ferrari.
now. Yeah, I may own a Ferrari as well. So you see, so today it still hasn't evolved. It is not a complete money. It's still evolving. It takes time. It takes time to get there. So it's just established itself as a store of value. Okay, it can be volatile, no doubt about that. But how the volatility will reduce over time as the base, more users are using it, the value gets bigger, right? So no one can easily impact the value of Bitcoin. So it takes time for it to mature. You can't go from zero to $1 trillion overnight, right? Did Amazon become $1 trillion company overnight? They didn't, man. They went up and down. They were so volatile. They lost 90% of their value during the dot-com bust. So volatility is, to me, is not a main concern. What happened May 12th, right, a month ago? In the span of 24 hours, Bitcoin fell by 50%. It's a bad feeling, but it's just part of Bitcoin. And that time also, there was a global asset sell-off for liquidity problem.
Sure.
So volatility is just part and parcel of a growing asset. And number two is Bitcoin is multifaceted, as I mentioned earlier, right? We are lucky we are not experiencing a devaluation, a significant devaluation in our money. Okay, but in countries like Venezuela, Zimbabwe, Argentina, where their economy is repressive, their freedom to own their property rights is not there, right? Would you prefer your money getting inflated away by millions of percent, or would you live with a volatility of 5-10% a day? So Venezuelans are actually adopting Bitcoin for that particular reason, because they cannot get US dollar. It's banned by the government. So what's the next best alternative? Bitcoin. You buy Bitcoin, it's volatile, so what? It's better than your money getting eaten away by hyperinflation.
Right. Okay. So I think another key concern is that Bitcoin takes approximately 10 minutes to confirm a transaction. And it can only process 4 to 7 transactions per second, whereas you have Visa, who can process thousands and thousands of transactions per second. So how can this be used on a daily transaction? For example, if we're buying a coffee, we have to wait for 10 minutes to confirm our transaction. And the same applies for buying our daily goods, like our groceries. We're so used to tap and wave, and we just walk away within seconds. Now we have to wait for 10 minutes to confirm our transactions. So how is this going to come into play for the future?
All right. Yeah, so this is another counter argument on this. Hey, 10 minutes confirmation time, right? Can a merchant wait for me 10 minutes or not to confirm that they actually receive it? Now, as I mentioned earlier, Bitcoin today, it is not full money yet, right? It's not meant, the protocol level is not meant for transaction. I won't use my Bitcoin to buy coffee, right? It's so slow. Yeah. So in order to use for this to get for us to get to that day where I can use my Bitcoin to buy a coffee, it's about innovation. Not on the layer one being a protocol layer, base layer, but it's on a layer 2. So we have developments going on here, like what we call Lightning Network, where transactions can be done immediately, really, really quick. But we can process tons of transactions. And this infrastructure are growing. It's not there yet. Definitely it's not there yet. But over the past few years, this Lightning Network has been developed where transactions between me and you can be immediate. We don't have to do the transactions on the protocol level. We can take the transactions on a layer 2. Now, for average people, right? What I mean by these layers are, look at our money system now. We have cash, then we have cash in bank, and then we have online banking and Visa and PayPal, right? Cash is at your protocol level, what we call protocol level. Now, when I launch Amazon, right? Prior to Amazon, I can say, hey, I have cash. How am I going to pay online, right? Right. So of course things innovate on top of that. So I have cash in bank, and then Visa, PayPal, MasterCard innovate on top of that layer 3. Right. So they become layer 3, they facilitate online payment. This is the same analogy. Bitcoin is the same as cash. Both are bearer's asset. What I mean by bearer's asset is whoever owns it, or whoever has ownership of the asset owns it. It's not like stock, right? I can go and put a gun at your head and take your stock certificate, but that doesn't mean that I own the stocks. But in the case of gold, Bitcoin, and cash, these are bearer's assets.
All right. So what you're saying is we're waiting for other service facilities, payment facilities to actually come and support the underlying, which is Bitcoin. Is that correct?
Exactly. Yes. So it's about the maturity of the infrastructure, the community, the network. So the development is happening. It's going to take time. Even what I can tell you is this, even if the Lightning Network is super mature now, right, 1,000 over, it has the same network of merchants like MasterCard and Visa, right? I can tell you sure as hell, people like me, the Bitcoin maximalists and supporters, right, they won't be using that Bitcoin today because if we're looking at the 500,000 Bitcoin, man, I'm not going to pay my coffee today, and I don't end up like a Bitcoin pizza guy, man.